Hey, it's Scott with Svdgt. This week I'm bringing you everything you need to know about the Geneva Auto Show and what went on this week. And there is a little bit of news that happened outside of Geneva that you won't want to miss, so stick around for that. First up, we have Mercedes and their Project One hypercar. Now this car finally got a price and it finally got a release date. We have some amazing work done by our good friends Svdgt, who have done some renders, and as always, they look fantastic. Now let's go over some numbers that Mercedes-Benz has released for us. They will only make 275 of these, and each one is going to cost $2.4 million. And delivery is going to happen as early as 2019. They've also released some information about the engine and the type of F1 technologies that are going to be inside this vehicle that makes it something very unique. Now, I'm someone who doesn't really understand all the mechanics behind an F1 car, but these numbers still really impress me because it will only have a 1.6 liter engine. That might be standard, I don't know. Now, I knew that F1 cars could rev up really high in the RPMs, but to have a production vehicle like this, 11,000 RPM. However, Mercedes-Benz was quick to say that they are not going for any sort of top speed with this vehicle. Top speed has never really been a huge factor. They really only care about the Nürburgring and what they're going to be able to do on the track, which I guess that's really what F1's about. And hey, thanks to Svdgt once again. It's been, what, 3 weeks in a row that we've used some of their content. They're fantastic people. They have amazing stuff. They did all the renders that I've been showing you this whole time. Go check them out. I'll leave a link in the description below. And also in the news this week, Rolls-Royce took one of their most special paint jobs to Geneva to show it off, where they took over 1,000 diamonds, crushed them up, put them in the paint, and made a paint job that is unlike any other. This interesting paint job is called Diamond Stardust, and even in their own words, it glistens like no other. And Rolls-Royce was very careful not to mention a price, as this is specifically for a customer. And also shown off at Geneva, a flying car concept made by Ital Design and Airbus. It's called the Pop-Up. This vehicle has 4 spinning propellers on the top, and what I can no better explain than a futuristic looking smart car at the bottom. Now it looks more like a Fiat Panda. You won't find any controls in it, however, just a big curved screen, as this is fully autonomous. That's the idea. And it has a range of 81 miles and can fly as fast as 62 miles per hour. The 2 electric motors only make 80 horsepower. And surprisingly, it only takes 15 minutes to charge. But like I said, this is a concept car, so don't expect to see one of these flying around anywhere, at least for a few years. And next up, we have some information about Audi and their Q8. This vehicle is very important because it is the platform that the Lamborghini Urus is going to be sat upon, and it's also the current platform for the Bentley Bentayga, which is the most expensive SUV on the market. And just taking a look at this thing, you can tell that there are a lot of design cues that sit right alongside the Lamborghini Urus, and I really expect this to look a lot like it. Now this Audi Q8 has a 3-liter twin-turbo engine paired with an electric compressor and supplemented by a hybrid drivetrain. Now let me throw some numbers at you. It has 476 horsepower and 516 foot-pound of torque. And it goes 0 to 62 in 4.7 seconds. And a top speed of 170 miles per hour and 33.13 mpg. What a bitch!
I feel professional.
Also about Audi, we have the RS5. Finally, the leaks were all correct. And this is going to have 450 horsepower with 442 foot-pound of torque. This vehicle will be all-wheel drive, powered by a 2.9 liter twin-turbo V6. And just looking at this thing, I'm a big fan of its styling. I love what Audi's doing lately. They look very different than what they've been doing for the last decade. The RS5 that I've been showing you this whole time is fully loaded, and its price tag is $85,500. Next up, we have Ferrari and their 812 Superfast, the last Ferrari V12 that's naturally aspirated. It has 789 horsepower, 530 foot-pound of torque, and Ferrari claims 0 to 62 in 2.9 seconds.
Whoa.
With a top speed of 211. And next up we have the Spiker C8 Prelator Spider, and it has a 600 horsepower Koenigsegg V8. In this Dutch and Swedish marriage, we have an engine that comes straight out of a Koenigsegg, and it's capable of 600 horsepower with 442 foot-pound of torque. Only 100 of these are going to be made, and they're going to have a price tag of $429,000. And next up we have the Zenvo, and they brought their one-off TS1 GT to Geneva, and it has a top speed of 250 miles per hour. The twin supercharged 5.8 liter V8 engine, and it has to the wheels 1,163 horsepower. Using a 7-speed transmission, this thing is capable of doing 0 to 62 in 2.8 seconds. I don't know what that feels like. I have no idea. I can't imagine tires sticking to the ground that well. How are supercars doing this? And the price tag on this thing is an astonishing $1.2 million. All these prices are just mind-boggling. Also in the news from Geneva, the Porsche 911 GT3, and it has an optional manual gearbox. And this Porsche's 4-liter flat 6 is capable of pushing 500 horsepower and 338 foot-pound of torque. It'll be able to go from 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds with a top speed of 197 miles per hour. And loosely related to Porsche, we have the RUF CTR, the first vehicle they are making completely in-house, not based off of a Porsche. It has the same flat 3.6 liter twin turbo as the old one, but it has twice as much horsepower, putting it at around 700. Also in the news, going back to last week, we talked about Ital Design's new car that wasn't named yet. Well, it has a name now, and they saved it for Geneva. The name is Zero Uno. This vehicle shares an engine with the Lamborghini Huracan and Audi R8 V10 Plus. It goes 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds with a top speed of 205 miles per hour with a price tag of $1.6 million. Only 5 of these will ever be made, so they're special. And at long last, we have the official announcement of the McLaren 720S. This McLaren is powered by a 4-liter V8 with 2 turbos, with 710 horsepower and 568 foot-pound of torque. 0 to 62 in 2.8 seconds with a top speed of 212 miles per hour. The 720S is going to start at $254,617. Also at Geneva, Bentley reveals their all-electric concept car, which, well, it looks like a Bentley. Probably doesn't sound like a Bentley, but it looks like a Bentley. Also from Geneva, we have Singapore's first electric hypercar. It's called the Dendrobium. The top speed is over 200 miles an hour, which for an electric car, that's not easy. And it goes 0 to 62 in 2.7 seconds. As there's not too much information to go off on this car, well, we can expect to see it on the road by 2020. Also from Geneva, Volkswagen has shown off their all-new autonomous pod, Svdgt. Its name is Svdgt. You get in it, takes you where you want to go, and you get out. It's pretty much all there is to it. No steering wheel, no anything. It looks about what you'd imagine future transportation to look like. Now, Volkswagen, having gone through Dieselgate, I can see why they're doing these kind of things. They've made the interior look very organic. They've made this vehicle all electric, and they've even put plants in the car and wood. And whatever happened to pineapple leather? Is that not going to be a thing? Because I want that in everything. Ever felt pineapple leather? It's fucking awesome. And also revealed at Geneva, a vehicle I am ecstatic about, the Lamborghini Huracan Performante. This vehicle was capable of beating the Porsche 918's world record of production vehicles around the Nürburgring. I'll get into that some more later on. Lamborghini might have cheated. Some claims are saying that. Stick around, we'll get into that towards the end of the video. This thing is covered with forged composite, and it's lost about 88 pounds over the standard Huracan. It's able to go from 0 to 62 in 2.9 seconds with a top speed of 203 miles per hour. The standard Lamborghini Huracan costs just under $200,000. This one, $274,000. I guess that Nürburgring badge really does mean something. Money. Also from Geneva, Aston Martin's brand new V12 hypercar, named the Valkyrie, has been revealed. The engine in this thing is a 6.5 naturally aspirated V12. We may not have any power figures on this thing yet, but it is powered by a 6.5 liter naturally aspirated V12. I am losing my voice. And as soon as more information about that comes out, well, we'll let you know. And that pretty much settles everything that happened at Geneva. And now let's go over some of the small things that happened this week that got buried in all the excitement that happened over at Geneva. For example, Opel, they got bought up by PSA Peugeot Citroën. That's pretty exciting. I still want them to come to the US. Probably won't happen. Hey, and take a look at this thing. Dodge Challenger limo-ish. It has gull-wing doors. That's cool. Longer. Has seats for more people. Also, Chevrolet, they're offering heavy discounts on the SS, as this model is going out of style and, well, out of production. For example, you can get $10,000 off the MSRP, which is a lot. You're paying, what, $38,000 for one of these things that before, when they were really popular, were easily going for $60,000. That's a deal. Me personally, I have always loved it, and I'm not even that big of a Chevy fan, don't get me wrong. I love Chevrolet, I really do. But I have loved this car since I've ever seen it. It is exactly what I've always wanted. It has a massive 6.2 liter V8 and it's rear wheel drive and it has seats for everybody. What more could you want? And it just looks good. It's Australian. Australian muscle cars, let's be honest, they're the best. They're still doing it. They're still doing it right. Superchargers and V8s. That's all you need. I mean, yeah, we have that here, but it's basically religion over there. And some bad news about Mercedes-Benz this week. Over 1 million recalls on their vehicles. That's a big number. And this is on newer models. For the risk of a fire. Also about recalls and vehicle safety, Takata airbags. They have finally paid back their $1 billion lawsuit for their, well, lack of a better word, scandal. Now, if you don't remember, Takata had an issue where people were getting hurt because airbags were going off when they shouldn't be. If you can imagine that, it's violent. You're just driving down the road, kaboom! Oh, airbag, no, it's not that simple. You don't see anything. $850 million will go towards paying the companies affected, whereas $20 million will just be a general fine, and then $125 million will go towards the affected families and people who were injured. And next up, we have some exciting information about Jeep and when their next truck will be coming out. The new truck will be debuting 2021, which isn't too far away. Really isn't. It'll come much faster than we think. And then finally in the news, Lamborghini Huracan Performante and its Nürburgring world record beating the Porsche 918. Was it real? There's been a lot of speculation going around, people comparing the two lap time footages and saying that, oh, this car was going this speed, that time, this place, blah blah blah. So what happened? Well, only time will tell, but for now, the Performante, that's the record holder. And until anything changes, well, we'll let you know. And that's pretty much all there is to know about that. And that wraps it up for the news of this week with the Geneva special. Make sure you keep an eye out for phone calls. Hello. Hey. Really? Really? Fucking heater. Hey, and that wraps it up. That's the news. That's what happened at Geneva, and a little bit more of what happened this week in general. This is Scott with Svdgt. Thanks for watching as always. If you like that, make sure to subscribe and like this video. It helps out more than you'll ever know. And I guess we'll see you next week or until we have a new video out. Make sure to keep your eye out for a video of Vaughn and I putting a light bar on his Kia, which I'm sure you haven't seen before. Neither had we.